guys. What up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, if you have questions, you can leave them down in the comments down below, or you can write me on Snapchat, Instagram. They'll be listed down below, where you can write me directly, or if you just want to see the daily life of what it's like to be in the Navy, I post a lot of stuff there as well. The last episode of this series was about the military boots, which I told you about what the standards were for when you were going to join, what expectation you would have as you're joining. That was a little bit easier, and today we're going to probably show the most difficult item, and that is the neckerchief. This is an old one I have here right now, which in your standards maybe doesn't look too bad, but in Navy standards is not. It's obviously a little loose. It could be tighter here, and I like mine loose like this, but I need to get it ironed out, and I'll show you guys how to do that in this video. So if you want to learn the hardest maintenance you will ever have on any of your uniforms while you're in the service, because I think we have the most traditional dress uniform, which has been around for so many years, this is the one. I first have to get everything undone. This here is called a square knot. Later in this video I will show you how to do that, and you're going to learn how to do it really quick in boot camp. The other thing is I'm taking out the rubber bands. There are many ways in which you can hold the neckerchief together. I even have a hair tie on there, and then I also have another rubber band as well, and this rolls out. And that's it. This one I rolled myself the last time, and it is very difficult to roll. The funny thing about these are you will stamp these in boot camp, and I think it was 7 years later, my rack mate next to me had his name stenciled on the one I opened up, and I realized it was this guy Garcia that was next to me, and I wrote him on Facebook and I said, I still have your neckerchief, and it was just ironic that I was able to take that history back and show it. What you're going to need for this whole scenario is a neckerchief here. This is 36 inches in length. It's silk, so you got to be careful. You're going to need this. You'll need a handy dandy iron back here, and obviously an ironing board that is a pretty decent size. To give you guys a heads up, these are offered pre-rolled within the Navy Exchange, and they are $18 to buy rolled. If you do it yourself, it's only $6, and as a young E1, E2, E3, learning how to do this will save you some money, especially if you have the time. If you're just chilling watching a movie, you can do this pretty easily, and it'll save you like 12 bucks. Also, you're going to need one of these. I got these from Michael's, I think for like 50 cents a pull. I don't know which size is going to work, so I got both because I wasn't sure, and I've been meaning to buy these. These will make sense later on in the video as well. So you have a dry one right here, but you have to wet this thing first. Doesn't matter what kind of water, it just has to be wet. So I have it wet. You're going to wring this out. You're going to lay it down just like so on the ironing board. So now you're going to have your iron. You want to make sure that you don't have it on cotton, because that will burn this. This is silk, and it's going to look really bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it on silk. One other thing is make sure nothing is on the iron. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people do this and there's stuff on the iron. You need a good iron. It's worth it to spend the good amount of money for a good one that will last you several years. You don't want to let it sit on there. You just want nice strokes to get this out and just dry it. This isn't like a regular t-shirt or a pair of jeans. So as the Navy uniform has progressed, the dress uniform has stayed the same. Now I think we have one of the more traditional ones. Marine Corps has good alphas, which are like the epitome of what they show off, which is pretty cool too. As the uniform has changed, what's happened is it has become less and less maintenance per the uniform that you need. So, for example, the new NWU that, well, not really new now, but I didn't have that when I first joined, where we had to iron creases in the backs of our shirt when I first came in for the utilities. Now we have the NWUs, which require almost no maintenance at all. You don't iron it and it still looks good. So it is very much what some people would call a bedroll, where you could pretty much sleep in it and still look good. When you're doing this, you want to make sure you're not getting any creases in it and you're ironing it totally flat, because you don't want anything showing. So I'm almost done with this. Try and get as much as you can out of the lines. This one's pretty scarred up with lines, but that's okay. Also, do not use starch on this. A lot of people try and starch stuff, and this is one thing you don't starch. I can't make that too obvious, but there's someone out there that will probably ask about that. It's going to be a little damp, which is actually good because it's going to help you mold the neckerchief once you're done with it. This is where you're going to need 2 people, because you definitely cannot roll your own neckerchief. That is the one downfall of this, so you better make a friend. First step to this is you have a square. This is totally square, so you're going to do it from one end of it to the other end, making a triangle. The other key thing is in boot camp, they're going to tell you about this, is the edge of this. If you can see that. So there's the edge facing outward right there. That's going to be your inside. Where it's smooth right here, this will be exposed. So we're on the road to 10K. We're almost at 5K. I think we need another 15 more. So I'm hoping if you like this video, throw a thumbs up, because I like providing the information to you guys. And now we have the triangle. This is where I get Justine to help me out, because I can't do it by myself. Justine is going to hold both sides of the bottom half base of the triangle. And you need someone that's going to be strong, so I'm trusting her right now. And I say that because you're going to have pressure coming from all 3 sides. And to be honest, I say you need a friend because it needs to be really tight. I don't think any kind of clamps will help you. Like I said before, I don't know which size, so I'm going to try both and see how tight I get it. You want it to be very tight, and I'll show you what is the determining factor of if it's a good roll or not. So this stick right here is the 0.3125 inches by 36 inches. You can find these at any local Michael's craft store. And you start at this end and you're going to then roll it around the stick. Justine has some grimace in her face right now because it is going to be quite sore from you holding it. So you want to evenly pull down as much as possible. Roll it through the... Yes, there we go. That's what I wanted. I need it really tight. So Justine's grimacing face is only temporary. Good job, Justine. The stick is currently in here, as you can see. You're going to hold it tight in the center, like so, as tight as possible. And then at the same time, your partner is going to then pull out the rod that you used. Pull it. There we go. As you guys can see right here, you want to keep this as tight as possible, this center area of it. So now this is where you find a girlfriend or you find a dependa. You get one of these. It's a hair tie. It's Justine's. I'm just kidding. Alright, so you're going to then double do it. And this will stay tight. I would suggest, like I had it before, having a rubber band or some other hair tie on the side to where it won't be seen, and also on this side. To be honest, I've been meaning to buy those rods for a while now, and I kept using a dime, and I didn't like how it came out to tighten it. And the issue with the dime was it was so big that it was making the flaps on the neckerchief when I tied it not look good. I want to make sure you guys look good in uniform. So we currently have a good roll, in my opinion. I'll tell you this is one of the differentiating factors of how well you look during a uniform inspection, how people judge you. If you bought a pre-rolled one, they usually don't look as good, and they look like they've been starched, and you can tell that the flaps on the ends look like as if stiff rabbit ears or something like that. And it should look a little more fluid, like the traditional look, in my opinion. So I've gone to a white t-shirt because I'm going to show you guys properly how to wear the uniform. I'm not wearing all my stuff on it because I don't want to put that out there. I normally don't wear a uniform, but for educational purposes, I find this a fitting time to put on some kind of uniform in these videos to inform you guys how to properly wear it. First off, when you have a white t-shirt, what you're going to wear is this white t-shirt, basic Hanes t-shirt. You might want to buy a size a little smaller to let it tighten up around the neck and iron this so it looks good, at least the V cut. Next is the jumper top. This thing is a little difficult to get in and out of, but it's worth it. The benefits of this uniform are that I think it looks the best, but also it is very warm for just being the one layer. It's a little bit harder to get dirty or mess up or crease, unlike the dress whites. But the dress whites feel like pajamas, so they both have their pluses and minuses. Little insight that you guys can learn about the uniform. Each 4 years that you're in, you wear one of these red marks, or if it's on the dress blue, it will be a blue or like black looking stripe. And then when you hit 12 years, if you haven't gotten in trouble, you wear gold for this and up here. And your rating badge, your job, your insignia will go right here, and your command patch will go right there, or your rocker is what we call it, will go right there, and that will be sewn on so people know where you're stationed at. Now I'm putting on this uniform because you need to know how to roll this, but also you need to know how to tie it. Alright, so this side right here, like I said, is going to be a little bit more down. You're going to make sure that these folds right here are coming across like so on both sides, because it's going to come across, okay? Right over left. And once you do this, you're going to have this jumper top. You're going to put your finger right here where it crosses. And you're going to bring that left side up and over. This is where your square knot comes from. Now that you've done that, this is tight. This is where you get to adjust whether it comes high or it comes low. You want this to be snug right there. So if someone pulls it down during your inspections, it goes like that. And it should just sit right in this little V shape, and that's where it's going to stay at. So do not lose this. So I brought it up again, through. Now this is a good square knot. It's less than an inch in difference. It's less than an inch in difference now. When I pull it down, and I have 1 inch there. So now that I have this done, you would do ribbons and things like that. I think I'll do a comprehensive video about the whole uniform, how the regulations are, but there's so much information just on this little knot here that you guys probably did not know about. I hope you guys got something out of this. Still messing with it. You guys are going to be in boot camp, and even when you get out into the fleet and you're in the Navy and you guys are getting ready for an inspection, you're going underway and you have to man the rails, you will always check the person to your left and to your right and make sure that they are squared away and that there's no issues with neckerchiefs. Again, this will be a deciding factor in how good you look and what people judge you by. We take a lot of pride in the uniform, and so that's why we do this. And even little things like this, doing it the right way, making it look good, and showing your pride and representation means a big things. Alright guys, if you guys have any other questions about the Navy, or you want to see my life, make sure you check it out on Snapchat and Instagram. You can ask me direct questions there or down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope to add more to this series, and we're on the road to 10K. We've got like 15 more subs until 5K, so let's get there. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys.